A survey from the Centers for Disease Control shows that 56% of dog owners in the U.S. let their dogs sleep next to them. But is this safe? Joining us to discuss the dangers of sleeping with your pets is veterinarian Dr. Tony Kremer. And we're also joined by Pierre and Pebbles here, two adorable dogs who are both available for adoption through the Humane Society of New York. Pebbles is so cute, and Pierre,
good morning.
Unbelievable these guys don't have a home, right?
I know, they're so cute.
Oh, they are so cute.
Yeah,
and
we definitely want to put the word out there. If anybody's looking for a pet, this is the time to get them before the holidays when things get crazy.
That's right.
And these guys are available.
That's right. And when you see how cute they are, it's easy to understand why so many people like to sleep with their pets.
That's right. They say that over 56% of people have their pets sleep on their bed, dogs and cats. And the study came out and gave that huge population of people a big scare.
Now, is it safe, though, to sleep with your dogs?
Well, is the threat real? Yes, there's a threat there. Is it possible? Yes. But is it probable? No.
To catch, you mean to catch something from your dog?
To catch disease from the pets. No. I mean, they talked about a lot of different really sinister things. We have seen people get a little rash from their pet or allergic reaction. Those are things that veterinarians maybe commonly would see, but they're minor, not big deals. This study talked about the plague and cat scratch fever and mange and things that are, you know, very unlikely. 1 in a million things.
What percentage of people were actually catching diseases like that from their pets?
Very small. I don't even think there's
Okay.
a number out there because it is so small.
Right. So, but is there a danger then, you know, your dogs are out and about stepping in goodness knows what and they come into your bed? I mean, is there a hygiene issue?
That's probably number one. If we take these precautions that we're going to talk about, the chances of catching something are pretty much zero. And hygiene is very important because dogs are outside. They're not wearing shoes.
Right.
They're going to lick their feet. They might lick a dead animal out in the yard, and we just want to make sure that people are cautious of that. One question that came up was about having pets lick your face.
Right.
And although sleeping on your bed's one thing, I think common sense tells us if dogs are licking all these things out in the yard and whatnot,
you don't want them licking your face as well.
Not a good idea.
And especially though when it comes to children, because they can't be as cautious as we are. They just run right up to the dog and slobber, slobber, slobber.
Right.
Is there more danger?
Yes, and if there ever is an issue of a person catching a parasite or something from a dog, it pretty much would be in children, where the hygiene is not so great. We need to teach our kids that, to avoid that licking the face and to wash their hands after they play with the pet.
And maybe we shouldn't let our kids sleep with the dogs?
Well, I would say if you take the proper precautions and you take your dog to the veterinarian, make sure that they're having this once a year checkup so that we can keep them disease free. There's a whole host of people out there that have heard about vaccinating your pet like every 3 years now. Although there are some shots out there that can be given every 3 years, the vaccines for diseases that we can catch from our pet, leptospirosis, Lyme disease, are things we can catch from them.
Pebbles wants to go to his handlers. Bye, Pebbles. We'll see you later.
Those vaccines need to be given every single year. So you need to plan on going to your veterinarian every year. And again, if you protect your pet against those diseases, the chances of you getting them are nil.
But perhaps when it comes to babies, at least, we should keep a little distance.
I think from a lot of standpoints, we need to be cautious of babies and that with pets and not leave them unattended and whatnot. But again, the thought of disease transmission is just something that I wouldn't want the public to be afraid of.
To be clear, let's go through the proper precautions that everyone should take.
Well, we talked a little bit about vaccines there. The biggest thing that I think we talk about is parasites. Dogs pick up parasites a little bit easier, again, because of hygiene issues. And when we go to the vet once a year, we take a stool sample in and we check them for parasites. If they have something, we give them medication to clear that up, and it's easy to take care of. If you have your pet sleep with you, well, I might do that twice a year. How hard is it to drop that sample off every 6 months? The other thing is that I'm a big proponent of just giving them the medicine to get rid of parasites anyway. It's a simple thing, no side effects. You might just ask your veterinarian, he's part of our family. We want to make sure there's no parasites. Can you go ahead and give them that dewormer anyway? It's an inexpensive way to just double up the safety.
So once you've covered all those bases, you should be okay. You don't see a problem with sleeping with your pet.
Well, one other thing that we want to make sure of is a lot of these diseases have an intermediate host of the flea. So we want to make sure, I mean, flea and ticks should be a thing of the past with pets. There's such good prescription medications that they can take, little drops on their neck or pills that they can take that absolutely eliminate fleas and ticks. And so we're giving a heartworm medication to our pets once a month. They even have the medication where the flea and tick repellents and insecticide is in that. Makes it very simple to do. And if your pet doesn't have those parasites, we're not going to be worried about catching something like Lyme disease or, God forbid, the plague.
If your pet does come home with some fleas, and you're worried that maybe some fleas have spread to your home, do you need to take extra precautions?
Well, that's one great thing about these medications. If they're on it all year round, if a flea gets on them, it's going to die very quickly.
Okay.
People have, because of the seasons, say, oh, I'm not going to get fleas in the wintertime. Well, fleas have a weird life cycle, and if an egg falls in the carpet in the household, it could hatch in the wintertime. And we do see some fleas emerge in the winter. And so if they just stay on that medication, it's inexpensive. It may be $10 a month.
And there's no danger to the pet.
It's especially if you go ahead and get something that is a prescription based on their weight from your veterinarian. I really try to have people avoid just finding something on the internet.
Right.
Might have toxins or insecticides that are poisonous, or maybe fake. We've had people get internet medications
the flea
that aren't
itself,
real.
though, once it's in the home, does that pose a danger to your children?
There are diseases that fleas can transmit,
Yeah.
and again, it's one of those things that we want to avoid, just because of the cleanliness and just the thought of, wow, it's gross to have fleas and ticks,
Right.
and those medications will keep that from happening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kremer. Thank you. And Pierre, you are just adorable. I just know that someone is going to adopt you right now. Don't forget that you can adopt Pierre by going to you can go to petfinder.com to get more information about Pierre here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.